At my baby shower, my brother joyfully revealed that he had been accepted into Stanford. As they celebrated, I found myself alone, scrubbing frosting off the floor, feeling the weight of their joy pressing down on me. I remained silent, but when dawn broke, my mom discovered something on the kitchen table and erupted in a fit of screams. They say a baby shower is meant to be a joyous occasion. A gentle, heartwarming day adorned with delicate decorations where laughter dances in the air and voices whisper sweetly over tiny socks. That's the vision I held close as I dedicated the last 2 weeks to its planning. Not a grand celebration, just a gathering filled with warmth, something that belongs to me. I took it upon myself to cover the cost of the food. I arranged for the cake, selected the decorations, and tidied up the living room to banish the lingering sense of old takeout and my dad's cigars. I created a playlist of gentle acoustic melodies, the kind that I envision will lull my daughter to sleep one day. With determination, I hung paper garlands across the window, balancing on a stool, my belly heavy with life at 8 months pregnant, as no one stepped forward to lend a hand. And I accomplished everything with the hope that just for one afternoon they might feel joy for me. In the beginning it seemed as though that could truly come to fruition. Some relatives arrived, each carrying wrapped gifts, their presence a gentle reminder of connection and warmth. My aunt gifted us with cherished baby books. My cousin gave me a small stuffed fox, saying it reminded her of something I would have cherished as a child. I hoped that perhaps, just perhaps, this would turn out all right. In that moment, my parents rose before the crowd. My mom gently tapped her wine glass with a fork, clearing her throat, her smile radiating as if she were on the brink of sharing a life-changing revelation. My dad held her close, his arm wrapped around her shoulders. I caught a glimpse of Jake, restless and barely containing his smile, a spark of joy radiating from him. "Before we cut the cake," my mom said, her voice dripping with warmth, "we just want to share a little surprise." I recognized that tone. That moment didn't belong to me. Jake stepped forward, clutching the letter as if it were a beacon of hope. I stepped inside, and he smiled with pure joy. "Stanford, complete embrace," the applause echoed, filling the air with a sense of triumph. Someone even took a leap of joy. My aunt inhaled sharply, her heart racing as she hurried to embrace him. The same aunt who just moments ago was filled with joy at the thought of meeting my baby. The atmosphere transformed in an instant. It was palpable, as if a bottle marked with hope had been uncorked. And everyone became intoxicated by it. In a breathtaking twist, my baby shower transformed into a celebration of dreams realized. As the news of college acceptance arrived in less than 5 minutes, it lingered in the air, unspoken yet palpable, a truth that resonated deeply within us all. The change was palpable. Boo! Chairs scraped forward, closing in on Jake. What was once my meticulously arranged snack table transformed into his celebration feast. My cake remained uncelebrated. Then his friends came bursting in. It doesn't belong to me, his story. A surge of boisterous voices and high school seniors with backpacks slung high, storming in as if they owned the world. One of them called out, "Where's the celebration happening?" And another held a speaker tightly in their grasp. Melody. Resounding melody. The bass reverberated through the walls, overpowering the soothing lullabies I had carefully crafted for 2 hours. In my hands, the warmth of the ginger tea lingered, a small comfort amidst the chaos. Clad in the gentle embrace of the soft pink sash my cousin gifted me, it boldly proclaims, "Mom-to-be." I felt invisible, as if the world had turned its gaze away from me. They cleared the gifts from the main table, creating space for the drinks that would flow freely. My mom mentioned, almost nonchalantly, that we would cut the cake later when everything settled. Then the cake was shifted to a new place. A soda bottle was placed beside it, and as it tipped, a cascade of fizz flowed down the side, a fleeting moment of chaos and release. I grasped the napkin, my hands trembling, as I began to blot away the remnants of what had just transpired. The frosting lay scattered across the table, a chaotic testament to the moment's intensity. I knelt down, determined to clean it thoroughly before it set in place. As I knelt there, 8 months pregnant, wiping frosting off the floor, feeling like an afterthought, someone stepped over me to embrace Jake. They didn't even bother to say excuse me. I lingered there for a moment, crouched on the floor, my hands coated in icing, inhaling deeply as their laughter and shouts echoed above me. Jake's voice drifted in from the other room, filled with excitement as he discussed campus visits and dorm preferences. My mom was proudly sharing stories about the tutors they had brought in to help him unlock his true potential, the same mother who, at 16, declared that college was a deception and urged me to settle for a job at the supermarket. And so I did. I toiled through endless shifts, my feet screaming in pain. Upon returning home, I filled shipping boxes for my small online shop, each one a step towards my dreams. I discovered my own path. As my business began to flourish, I sought nothing from them. I faced the weight of my responsibilities and took charge of my life by paying the bills. I found my way to freedom. I purchased this house with funds they were completely unaware of. Yet, against all odds, they clung to the belief that it belonged to them. My mom once told me how fortunate I was to have the chance to stay at home while I was pregnant. She spoke as if she were granting me a kindness, oblivious to the fact that I had covered the mortgage, the utilities, and even contributed to Jake's tutoring last year. As I rose, the memories swirled within me, the sticky napkins clinging to my fingers like remnants of a moment I couldn't shake off. I surveyed the space, taking in every detail. My decorations lay in disarray. The banner I had lovingly created for my baby lay forgotten, overshadowed by a simple hand-drawn sign proclaiming, "Congrats, Jake." I held back my tears. I held my silence. I made my way to the kitchen, cleansing my hands and drying them gently on a dish towel, and I retreated to my room. I shut the door behind me. I sat on the bed, feeling the weight of the world around me. A deep ache coursed through my back. My feet throbbed with a heavy ache, yet my mind was unclouded. Down the hall, the music thumped like a heartbeat that felt foreign to my very core. I reached for my phone. I unveiled a folder I had been nurturing in silence for weeks. I chose silence, yet I held on to the memory. I once believed that everything was fair when we were young. We were merely two children caught in the same tempest, seeking refuge beneath a roof that offered little protection. Yet, as I reflect on the past, I can clearly perceive how the balance was forever skewed. In every little moment. At 6 years old, I watched in disbelief as Jake, just 4, hurled my beloved doll into the air. Tears streamed down my face for what felt like an eternity. My mom said it was my fault for placing it within his reach. When I expressed that it wasn't fair, she banished me to my room for daring to speak up. That night, Jake savored the sweetness of dessert. I chose not to. In 3rd grade, I achieved 2nd place in the spelling bee. I returned home radiant, clutching the ribbon as if it were pure gold. My dad looked at it and said, "Just a moment? Perhaps next year will be the time for change." When Jake received a participation medal in the soccer tournament, they celebrated with a pizza party just for him. When I received an AB on a math test in 8th grade, my dad remarked, "Well, at least you're trying." When Jake received the same grade a year later, he sought a tutor and was given an impassioned lecture about unleashing his true potential. They believed I should take on responsibilities at home, seeing me as the more mature one. As I stood at the sink, the warm water flowing over my hands, Jake immersed himself in his digital world, lost in the thrill of the game. I toiled away while he basked in the accolades for simply remembering to take out the trash once a week. They urged me to wait, to hold on, to embrace gratitude, to inspire change. As the years passed, I felt myself fading into the background. At 16, when I expressed my dream of attending college, my mom's laughter echoed in my ears. University? For what purpose? Imagine spending 4 years only to emerge burdened by debt. Oh, darling, it's time to take charge and build your future. And so I did. I poured my heart into every application, markets and supply centers. I found myself stepping into a new chapter, hired at a discount clothing store, navigating the bustling floor on Black Friday, while Jake was still navigating the halls of middle school. At just 16, he found himself equipped with a brand new laptop, 3 dedicated private tutors, and the guidance of a college prep coach. My parents borrowed a small amount to make it happen. They referred to it as an investment. No one ever inquired if I required assistance with anything. At 17, I experienced a moment that changed everything, a minor car accident on my way to work. It was a turning point, a whisper of fate that stirred something deep within me. I was not injured, merely unsettled. I reached out to my mom, standing alone on the roadside. With a heavy heart, she breathed out, "You should have been more careful," before ending the call. 2 years later, when Jake dented his fender in a parking lot, my dad rushed from work, eager to offer him solace. That night at dinner, he shared with everyone how mature Jake had shown himself to be by reaching out to him. At the age of 19, I embarked on the journey of launching my online shop. It began as a humble venture, reselling clearance items and shipping them from the confines of my bedroom. In the quiet of the night, I found myself packing orders, often drifting into slumber next to the printer, lost in the rhythm of my labor. I kept silent about the countless returns I had to swallow, the way shipping delays ignited fury in customers. I pressed on, unwavering. And gradually it began to unfold. It lacked glamour. It lacked extravagance. Yet it stood firm. It was the moment I knew I had to break free, enough to create something profound. When I purchased the house, I kept it a secret from my parents for a while. I opened my heart and welcomed them in, placing the keys in their hands. My mother wept. My dad placed a comforting hand on Jake's back and said, "Now your sister has created a space for us all to unite." They took the leap and moved in the next month. They never considered whether their contribution was welcome. Never once did they suggest sharing the burden of the bills. They treated my actions as if they were simply the expected response of any daughter. I chose to let it go. I convinced myself it was just a phase. I believed that if I poured enough of myself into them, they would finally recognize my existence. When I shared the news of my pregnancy, I braced myself for their astonishment. Perhaps a sense of loss. What I received was far more devastating. "Oh," my mom said, blinking in disbelief. "It seems that this is our reality now." My dad wondered if the father was present in the scene. I stood firm and declared my refusal. They acknowledged with a silent agreement, no further communication, no accolades. At dinner the following night, they revealed the truth to Jake. He chuckled and remarked, "Looks like we'll need to safeguard the Xbox." I joined in the laughter as well. Yet it felt simpler than allowing tears to fall. As I contemplated hiring someone part-time to help with my order fulfillment, allowing me a moment of respite in the final months of my pregnancy, my dad's voice echoed with concern. "Are you sure you can afford that? What will happen to Jake's application fees?" I longed to declare that was the moment I broke free. Yet, it was not. It was merely another weight in a pocket already burdened with countless others. Yet, a transformation occurred. Silently, I began my journey of discovery, inquiring deeply, readying myself. I realized that if no one else would stand up for me, it was time for me to stand up for myself. And my daughter, the light of my life, I yearned for her first memories to be filled with love, not of me merely tidying up after those who viewed me as nothing more than a tool. I wished to shield her from the harsh truth that love often demands silence and sacrifice to be truly felt. And so, I continued to smile, continued to offer support. I constantly replied with a reassuring "of course, no problem" whenever someone sought my help. And I continued to envision my path. The baby shower felt like a celebration for everyone else, not for me. Not for them. It was an opportunity to embrace, to unite, to reveal one's true self. Yet it marked the final moment I would allow them to take control. They were on the brink of discovery, unaware of the truth that awaited them. The silence in the house was overwhelming. It was a silence that weighed heavily, devoid of any sense of peace. It was the stillness that hung in the air, heavy with anticipation just before the release of a cry, like a gasp suspended in time, as if a profound change was on the horizon. In the quiet of the kitchen, I poured myself a cup of tea, the gentle hiss of the kettle breaking the stillness, a moment just for me. The sun hung low on the horizon, its light just beginning to break free. The counters were a testament to chaos, sticky with remnants of spilled soda, while the sink, a silent witness, overflowed with the burden of someone else's neglected dishes. I had positioned the notices with intention. At the heart of the table lies one, perfectly positioned, with 3 others resting beneath it, each adorned with their names in striking black ink. A gentle movement from within reminded me of the life growing inside me as I settled into my seat, soothing my aching back with tender care. Though my body throbbed with pain, my mind soared with clarity. This moment had been in the making for far longer than they could ever understand. At 7:02 a.m., the hallway floorboards groaned softly, breaking the stillness of the morning. Slippers trailing behind. My mother, a force of nature, shaped my world with her unwavering strength and love. She entered the kitchen, a weary sigh escaping her lips, and halted abruptly as her gaze fell upon the table. I averted my gaze from her. I chose not to. "What is this?" she asked, her voice thick with sleep. As I took a moment to savor my tea, a wave of warmth enveloped me. With trembling hands, she lifted the first page and began to read, each word resonating deep within her soul. In just 5 seconds, her eyes grew wide and her mouth fell open. "What is this?" she exclaimed, her voice cutting through the silence like a blade. A moment of stillness, then she cried out, "Claire, what is this?" The mug in my hand remained steady, unwavering. I just took another sip, feeling the warmth spread through me. My father entered the room, his robe slightly askew, eyes blinking as if he were still caught in the haze of sleep. Jake trailed behind, his eyes heavy, and a yawn escaping his lips. "What's happening?" my dad whispered, a hint of concern in his voice. "She's evicting us!" my mother cried, brandishing the paper as if it were ablaze. Jake froze in his tracks. "What?" he gasped. I finally lifted my gaze. "I offered you a month. Everything unfolds on the page." "You can't be serious," my dad exclaimed, moving closer and grabbing a copy for himself. "Is this some kind of joke? This feels impossible. What is this all about?" "Yesterday I sent the certified letters," I said with a steady voice. "They are expected to arrive this afternoon. This is merely a gesture of goodwill." "Are you really sending us away?" Jake's voice trembled. "What on earth is happening with you?" "I am reclaiming my home." My mother's hands trembled with a weight of unspoken emotions. Her voice shattered into fragments. "After all we've sacrificed for you," she cried out, "you're really going to do this now?" As the moment of birth approaches, a profound transformation begins to unfold. "No," I declared. "I'm taking this step as I prepare to bring new life into the world." Jake struck the table with force. The papers tumbled, a chaotic dance across the floor, each one a silent echo of untold stories. "You're overreacting," he shouted, his voice echoing with intensity. It was a single gathering, just one reckless celebration that spiraled into chaos. "Oh, Claire!" A single gathering. I rose with purpose. You stole my moment of joy. You transformed it into a night of wild revelry. You allowed strangers to desecrate my home while I was on my hands and knees desperately scrubbing frosting from the floor like some kind of servant. "We were in the midst of a celebration," he exclaimed with fervor. "It seemed insignificant until you chose to amplify its weight." My mom moved around the table as if she were trying to shield me from something unseen. "This is more than just a house," she wept. "For years this place has been our home." "Indeed," I affirmed. Living without the weight of rent, my dad stepped forward, arms outstretched, embodying a bridge between worlds. "Let's go," he urged. "We are bound by the ties that connect us, unwavering and profound. These are feelings surging intensely. We truly don't wish for our departure. We will rise and reclaim our space. We will express our sincerest regrets. We will find a way to make it right." My gaze locked onto him. "No," I declared. "You'll manipulate my feelings, making me doubt my own reactions, just like you always do. Then you'll return to the charade, acting as if this home and my existence are yours to control." My mom's face was flushed with emotion now, vivid crimson, She appeared on the brink of bursting forth. "You unappreciative child. Do you really believe you're superior to us just because you launched a trivial online store? Do you believe that gives you significance? We nurtured you. We gave everything for you." I let out a soft, gentle laugh. Inhale the weight of doubt, then exhale the chains of uncertainty. You chose Jake over me. Each and every time, my father's jaw clenched with unspoken tension. That simply isn't the case. I faced him. When I dreamed of attending college, you dismissed it as a scam. When Jake desired it, you poured thousands into tutors. During my night shifts, your words echoed. "Stop complaining." During one summer job, Jake showed a level of responsibility that left a lasting impression. I conquered the mortgage. I claimed this house as my own. Yet you still referred to it as ours. Jake thrust his chair away with a forceful motion. "This moment has been long awaited. This has been your plan all along, have you not?" "Indeed," I affirmed. "I have experienced it all." His gaze pierced through me, filled with betrayal and shock. "You're casting your family aside for a trivial celebration. In an instant." "That's incredible. It wasn't just a fleeting moment," I declared. "It was in each fleeting moment. For countless years, this has revealed everything clearly." My mom collapsed into a chair, her cries erupting in a torrent of raw emotion, reminiscent of a scene from a gripping drama. "How will we find our way to live? Where are we meant to journey to? What will others perceive?" "It no longer burdens me," I declared. "We won't leave," she declared fiercely, her eyes ablaze with intensity. "We will not be driven away. It's unimaginable to cast aside your own parents, leaving them vulnerable and alone." "I can," I declared. "Indeed, I have." She gazed at the paper clutched tightly in her hand. Her lips whispered the words once more, hoping for a transformation that never came. "This isn't right," she murmured, her voice trembling with a mix of fear and defiance. I opened the drawer and retrieved a folder, my heart racing with anticipation. Within lay the deed, the notice, the certified mail receipts, each a testament to a journey marked by struggle and resilience. I placed them softly on the table. "Indeed it is." I ensured it was done. With a surge of frustration, Jake seized the folder and hurled it across the room. Pages drifted apart, a flurry of chaos. "You have no heart," he said. "Absolutely not," I declared. "At last I am standing up for what is truly mine." Once again silence enveloped the space. Not the unsettling kind from before. This one carried a weight that was hard to bear. I stood there, enveloped by the chaos they created, and for the first time in years, it was not my burden to bear. It resonated deeply, exactly as it is. I chose silence. I sent it to my lawyer. On the 12th day, the facade fell away. My mom confronted me in the hallway. "I see you believe in your strength now," she whispered fiercely. "But when that baby arrives and you're feeling drained and inundated, we'll see how enduring this truly is. Don't return to us when you finally understand your need for us." I gazed deeply into her eyes. I have come to understand that I truly do not. On the 16th day, a sheriff's deputy arrived, delivering a letter to the front door. My dad opened it, read it, and struck the wall with a fierce blow. He whispered, "Court filing!" They wished I would back down from the legal eviction, that I would break, I would surrender. Yet the papers were filed. The hearing was set to unfold. I stood my ground, unwavering. On the 21st day, they attempted to wield guilt once more. My mother wept uncontrollably in the living room, so intense that it likely echoed through the walls of the neighborhood. She recounted every sacrifice she had made for me, how she allowed me to stay at home, how she stood by my side throughout my pregnancy journey. She gave up her tranquility for my sake. I sat in my room, enveloped in silence with noise-canceling headphones over my ears, completing the updates to the baby registry. Day 25, Jake summoned his girlfriend into the kitchen, his voice echoing with intensity as he declared, "She's crazy. She is on a path that could devastate her child's future without our intervention." I stepped inside, my gaze landing on his girlfriend, the one who had attended the baby shower, and I said, You played a part in ruining my baby shower. Consider stepping away before I compile a detailed account of every underage individual who was drinking that night, with your name attached to it." Her face drained of color. She walked away. On the 28th day, they began to gather their belongings. The suitcases loomed in the hallway, haunting reminders of what once was. Completely, with a heavy heart, just one bag, waiting. One box stands alone. I held back my triumph. I couldn't find a reason to smile. I simply stood there, holding my breath in anticipation. On the 30th day, the house felt like a shell of its former self. My father left without a farewell. He stepped away, leaving everything behind, never glancing back. My mother stood in the foyer, arms crossed, her eyes glistening with tears. "You'll come to regret this," she whispered, her voice laced with a haunting intensity. "Family endures through all." "Absolutely," I replied. "That's why I'm creating something that truly deserves to endure." Jake stood alone at the end. He lingered in the doorway, a backpack resting heavily on one shoulder, a silent testament to the journey ahead. "You're fortunate, you know," he said. "In my absence, the weight of accountability rests solely on your shoulders." "At last, it seems I will find my peace," I said. With a heavy sigh, he turned away and stepped out, leaving behind the weight of the moment. He closed the door, leaving the past behind. Quietude. Not the strange sort. Not the burdened kind. A unique experience. A serene essence. I found myself at the heart of the living room. The room felt vast and open, a breath of fresh air without their belongings weighing it down. Radiant. As if it had been waiting in silence. I made my way to the nursery. As I pulled open the closet doors, a rush of memories flooded over me. Carefully folded a handful of onesies, each a tiny testament to new beginnings. Gently laid a soft pink blanket into the crib, a tender gesture filled with love and warmth. The wind whispered softly through the trees, carrying a sense of freedom and release. I settled into a moment of stillness, my hand gently cradling my belly. In that moment, a profound sense of safety enveloped me, unlike anything I had ever experienced before. Not due to the influence of another, because I chose to. Here's the latest update. 4 years have passed. My daughter embarked on her preschool journey just last month with her little purple backpack slung over her shoulder. She declared her mission to teach the world the art of drawing clouds. She embodies kindness, curiosity, and an unwavering spirit. She reflects my essence, yet shines even brighter. The business endures, standing strong against the tides of change. I never had to silence it, even in those tender moments of new beginnings. Bringing on 2 new team members marked a turning point, and last year we soared to 6 figures for the very first time. I now embrace a life with fewer hours of work. I am free from the relentless grind of my past. I have finally found the freedom to simply exist. Since their departure, silence has enveloped my family, leaving words unspoken and hearts heavy. Neither of us has made the effort to connect. Yet the whispers of relatives linger. At weddings and funerals, hushed voices carry the weight of unspoken emotions. I've heard that Jake made the bold decision to leave after just 1 year. He struggled to manage on his own, always needing someone to tidy up the mess he left behind. My parents sought refuge with one of my uncles, but their stay was fleeting. After 6 months, he seemingly cast them out. Unpaid bills loom over me, a constant reminder of my mom's relentless struggles, turning our lives into a chaotic storm. They are struggling, and no, that doesn't sit well with me. Yet, I carry no guilt within me. I offered them opportunity after opportunity. I sought only the simplest of offerings. And when they turned away my gifts, I found the strength to stop giving entirely. Many believe that family offers unwavering support, yet I believe respect must be present. So, that's where we stand now. Do you believe I made the right choice? Share your thoughts in the comments and remember to subscribe for more inspiring tales like this.